to Tibara's Den. My name is Whitney and welcome to another speed build. We are on the last video of the Aries portion of our Zodiac series. If you haven't seen the other videos, definitely check them out. The link for the playlist will be in the description below as well as at the end of this video. But just to catch you up in case you haven't seen those videos, we of course are doing a Zodiac series. We did start with Aries from March 21st through April 19th. That's the sign of Aries. And so we started with that Zodiac sign. We also are combining in the Chinese Zodiac. So for our first week, we did Aries, a sim based on Aries combined with their Chinese Zodiac twin of the dragon. And so we did a sim based on Aries and then a sim based on the Zodiac of the dragon. And then in between these weeks, until we move on to Taurus, we are doing the Primal Zodiac sims. And so the Primal Zodiac just takes your Western Zodiac and combines it with your Chinese Zodiac. And so all these sims we created are all Aries combined with the different Chinese Zodiacs, the 12 different Chinese Zodiacs. And so that's what we've been working with. So we've done 3 different builds. Well, this is the third one. We did the first one, which was just Aries and Dragon. Those are the only 2 sims in that build. And then off to the right there, you can see the second build we did, which did the first half of the Primal Zodiacs that combine Aries sign with the 12 different Chinese Zodiacs. And then this build is for the second half, the second set of sims that we've done. We've already created all those. Again, check them out so you kind of know the different players and what we are working with. I did try to lean heavily on the same aesthetic for the outside of these builds. So there is a lot of red going on. I don't know if any of you noticed the initial loading screen. You could actually see the original house with Aries and Dragon on that screen as well. I kept them all in the same kind of neighborhood. And so they're all very similar. The only difference is Aries and Dragon's house is a little bit smaller because there's only 2 sims versus the 6 sims that are in these 2 houses. But aesthetically, very, very similar. Especially the first Aries house and then the Aries and Dragon house. There's a lot of physical, sporty activity things outside and whatnot for those 2 houses. This house, these sims are a little bit more kind of a free spirit type than a very, I mean, they're still active, but more in energy than like being physically active, like working out or you know, playing sports, things like that is kind of the personality and sense I got from these different Primal Zodiacs. And so I didn't do like a basketball hoop like I did on the other 2 lots or anything like that. And actually, if you saw the previous video or the previous build, there was one sim, the catfish, the Primal Zodiac of catfish, that would have actually fit better in this build. And there's one sim which you'll see, the rhinoceros, who would have actually fit better personality wise in the other build. But I was doing it kind of based on what their Chinese Zodiac elements were, because there's 5 different elements and it just worked really nicely to split them up that way in order to kind of fill in the weeks in between each Western Zodiac sign. And so it just worked nicely. And so catfish, it was actually an earth sign, which is in the first house, and rhinoceros is a wood sign, which of course went into this house. And so, like I said, kind of different personalities. They're all definitely very much Aries. You can see that when I was like reading the description and such. And I am going to go over the descriptions again as I do each room for them. So you will get a kind of a refresher on these guys' description. And then, like I said, you could definitely go back and check out the other videos to kind of get a refresher on the others. But there's definitely a lot of similarities, like a lot of strong personalities. And the ones that aren't necessarily leaders or anything like that still kind of march to their own drum and don't really let anybody tell them what to do. Very strong-willed, I would say, is definitely fitting for Aries. But yeah, this is the build. You can see a lot of similarities, especially on the lower floor plan with the first house. I did a sunroom in that one as well at the back, and same thing with this one. There's 3 floors on both. I did do the layout a little bit differently than I did in the original house or in the first house. And so like the first house has a room and an office and a gym on the 3rd floor, where this one's just kind of like an open studio type on the 3rd floor. And so that's a little bit of a difference, but otherwise, like especially the downstairs layout is pretty similar. Definitely you can see that. So but we are working on the outside first here. I like the idea of a little like wellness area for some of these sims, and so I put down a yoga mat out here and then a little meditation mat. One of the sims is a civil designer, and so I knew I needed a fabricator. I actually forgot about the recycler until I went to go play test, and I was doing all the cheats for the sims and such to get them, where I wanted them in their career and their skills and such, and I realized I needed a recycler. And so I do add that in later, and it is in the screenshots. It's just not included in the build itself as I was building, but I add that and a couple other things. And I did have a problem with my first house objects just being deleted, and I have the same problem here. So you'll notice like there's certain things that I put in, but in the screenshots and the walkthrough it's no longer there. Not as bad in this build as in the first house, and I don't know if it's just because it's a big build, or what happened, but it was really frustrating because these builds took a long time, and this build I actually did over 3 days as well, and so it wasn't like a simple build, which may be part of the problem and why I was losing items, but it's still really frustrating. I was saving a lot, and to go back in and not have items there is just just makes you just very angry. Like but at the end of the day it is what it is. And then this build, I didn't let it get to me quite as much as I did in the first build. I think I was kind of prepared for it, so I was kind of watching out for things going missing and such. And like out here I put like a little grill area, and the cabinets go missing, and so I just didn't even worry about putting back in or anything like that. But out here we have like a little party area and a bar. Especially Gorilla really likes to have parties and really be the center of attention, and so those areas are mainly for gorillas, but I see some of the other signs enjoying it as well. But that's kind of what I had in mind for gorilla as kind of a communal area. And so there's a couple dance areas, there's DJ booths. Like, she would definitely host a lot of parties. You can see there's a bar inside and a bar outside, so no matter the weather she can throw her parties and have a lot of fun. And then I did a slide and some water balloons. I can see her really having a lot of fun with inviting people over and having a good time. And then just some coolers and things like that. Some drinks out there, maybe sodas and such. Yes, there's a bar, but maybe they don't always utilize the bar or something like that. And then I did add the solar panels and a wind turbine to this build, since we do have the civil designer in there, which is actually the gorilla. So I wanted to incorporate that in there as well. Just kind of a little piece for her. And then I put a bonfire. I debated whether to put like the little campfire that they could sit around, but I figured gorilla would go big and definitely have a bonfire. And so I was trying to position the furniture here in such a way that it wasn't too dangerous. Like, yeah, they could sit and enjoy, but they wouldn't have like a big bonfire in their face. But of course, there's only so much room on these lots, so that played a factor as well. And now I'm just doing a little bit of landscaping. I didn't go too crazy with the landscaping on this one. I kept it pretty simple. I do like some bushes in the front here, and then just some like little wild plants along each side as edging, and then in the back I don't have any plants at all, and then some like grass and such under the trees themselves, and then just kind of going through and you know, shading around the house and things like that, and then kind of melding in the terrain and doing walking paths and things like that. I've been trying to do a little bit better about doing that. That's definitely one of the tips if you watch some other YouTube sim builders, you know, that they're always talking about is the terrain paint and such, and kind of blending it and making it look more realistic. So I'm trying to do that a little bit more. I don't know how good it always looks. I always think it kind of looks sloppy when I do it, but it always looks great when the other sim builders do it. So I think it's just more a matter of me being hard on myself and not really knowing what I'm doing very well, but I did do like the little walking paths, you know, by the bar to the tables around the campfire, and then over to the little water slide as well. And then I put some juice kegs out here as well. I definitely think, again, Gorilla likes to party, so I thought those were a good addition to the outside. And then a ping pong table so they could play juice pong as well. But you can see I'm doing a lot of blues and yellows in addition to the reds here. And like I said, that's because a lot of the different Chinese zodiacs, that's their lucky colors. There was a lot of blues and a lot of yellows for the different sims, so I was really trying to incorporate that. I had a really hard time on this outdoor patio. Like, it's kind of awkward, like it's big, but it's kind of an awkward shape. And so I was trying to fill it up but not be too cluttered, and I couldn't decide how I like this robot punching thing out here, sparring bot, whatever it's called. I really wanted it out here, and the only place I liked it was in that corner, but then I just didn't like how it looked. It just looked very, very awkward. And so I actually ended up putting that upstairs instead of right there, but you can see I really, really struggled, and I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth many times in this build. And out here is actually where I put the recycler. I put it kind of in the front there, just directly opposite of the sparring bot, and that's where I have the recycler. But like I said, that doesn't happen until the end. And so this here, I'm playing like maybe if I move this down here, it will make the space look a little less different. But it still just looked really, really funny. And then I didn't like it. And then I was like, then you have this awkward space in the corner. So I ended up moving all of that back and just, I don't know, I add another tree and call it good. And that's what I do. And like I said, the only other thing that does get added is a recycler to the porch, but that's it. It's just kind of an awkward space, and I didn't really know what to put there. And then this is where I put like the little bushes out front, and then these little patches with some grass and some little flowers I put around the trees and things like that, just to kind of add in a little bit more landscaping and make it not look so bare. And then these flowers here, and I do those back behind the wellness mat and the yoga mat, just to add a little color back there as well. And then these are the little plants I went with right here. I just put a bunch of those, and I did them in all the different colors. So I did yellow, red, and blue, kind of alternating, just to kind of fill in the space. And so maybe they just did kind of like a mass planting along there, and all those just sprouted up, and it's something that's really doesn't take a lot of maintenance or anything like that for these sims. I don't see any of these sims really being into gardening or anything like that. Like they like the aesthetic, of course, but they don't really want to deal with the upkeep or anything like that. So that's kind of what I was going for here. And like I said, I kept the back bare because that's where they're constantly entertaining, and they don't really need anything back there or anything like that. So just kind of layered them over each other with the move objects cheat, which I thought it looked really nice and kind of filled in the space a little bit. And of course they do have a couple of bikes as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I like these stairs because they kind of had the blue and the kind of a gold color as well. But I decided I did not like the deck that I use, and so I actually get rid of that. And I actually changed the stairs on the inside. I don't keep the same stairs. And now I'm just adding in some wallpaper, so I decided to go with kind of a yellow and blue theme. Again, as I mentioned many times, um, did didn't want to go fully red for this build, even though the outside is very red. Just kind of the difference in these Sims from some of the other Sims under the sign. So that's what we were working with. And so you have the kitchen off to the left there, living room as you enter, a bathroom with a laundry room, and then the sunroom is a little party area. They've converted it to that. And then downstairs I put my rhinoceros sim, because she is a secret agent. And if you saw the first House of Aries build I did downstairs, I did my Doberman sim, because she is a covert operator in the military, and I just figured downstairs makes sense for those two sims, since they probably come and go at all hours of the night. Like, you never know when they're gonna come and go, and so I figured it kind of worked for them, and then they can kind of keep an eye on things as well. So like, it kind of really works out for these guys. And now we are on to our kitchen, and wasn't really sure what direction I wanted to go with, and I'm not really sure how I feel about those cabinets at all. I mean, they definitely work, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the brown, yellow, and blue all tied together. I mean, it fits for the wallpaper too. There's brown, yellow, and blue in the wallpaper, so I guess it all kind of ties together. And then I do red appliances. Like, it is a big mishmash of all kinds of colors and such. And we actually have a little dining room table here as well. And I removed that door. Like, that door just wasn't working. I have a door to the outside going through the sunroom, and so I just removed this back door completely. And then for the table, I actually did miss matching chairs, so I did blue and yellow chairs together, which I actually like. I've never done that. I've seen other builders do it in The Sims, but I've never done it, and I thought, what better time to do it than now, with all these different colors kind of coming together and combining. And so that's why I did it, and I absolutely actually love how it looks. So I'm definitely going to try to do that in the future as well. So but yeah, this is our little kitchen. I really, really like it. I think it's cute. I do also like a little buffet table, and like shelves and such, drink shelves and things like that in there as well. So it's not completely done yet, but pretty much. And then out here, this is where these are one of the objects that go missing. I put these counters out here, and the objects with the stuff on them are completely gone when I go back in. And I did save. Like I said, I was saving constantly. My game never crashed or anything like that, but for some reason those just got deleted, and I did not put them back in. I was like, you know what, I don't even care. I'm not gonna even pay any mind to it. So maybe something I might go in and do later, but it was really, really frustrating not to have those items when I spent time to place them down. So but now we are back into the kitchen, and so I do some plants. I like the bushier plants, but I hate how they clip through the walls, or you have to push them out so far that kind of looks unnatural. In real life, obviously the plants would just kind of push against the wall without going through, but you don't have the option in The Sims. So I end up trying to use plants that just go straight up and down, just because I think they fit better. So some decorations on the wall. They are active Sims. One of mine is the extreme sports enthusiast, my rhinoceros, and so that's why I have like the snowboards and such downstairs. And then some of the skateboard wall art, I think that's fine too for these Sims. Not quite as active as the other household, but definitely still active. And then again, I put like the sport drink or sport powder bar shelves up. I couldn't think of the word I was trying to find, but they have the sports powder. I did that in the other house as well. And then they also have some drinks, because Our gorilla, the girl wants her drink, so I added those as well. And these curtains actually got deleted, like 3 out of the 4 of them got deleted, and so I had to put them back in here as well, which was frustrating, but again, not a huge deal. I'm trying not to be too sour about it. This is a big build, and I did put a lot in it, and there are limitations to the game. So this is the little living room. Again, I combined all the colors in here. So you have blue and yellow on the wall, and then I combine it with these bright red couches and these bright yellow chairs, and then I do a yellow or a blue coffee table and a yellow and blue rug. So like it's a lot. Like it's a lot of color happening, but I don't know. I think somehow it works. You'll have to tell me what you guys think, but I really like how it looks. And how it actually all ties together. I think it works out pretty well. So this is the blue coffee table, and then I do a rug as well, like I said. So yeah, a lot of color happening here, but somehow it kind of all comes together. But I don't know. I like it, but you guys will have to let me know what you think, if it's too much or just enough. No, not really sure how well I did. You know, my personal tastes tend to be a little bit odd anyway, and I like kind of a mishmash of stuff. If I like it, and it can find a place with me. But it's a little music. Maybe if they're having a more low key evening, not a full on party, no DJ or anything like that. You know, I see this as a household that definitely has music playing quite often, even when they're not hosting people over or anything like that. And then since my rhinoceros is a secret agent, a diamond agent, I figure she would collect a lot on her travels. So originally I put like those vases in there. I actually end up removing them, but I do put like some vases and such on the little entry table there as they walk in. You know, things she may have collected on her travels, and such. So that's kind of what I added down there. And plus, she is an extreme sports enthusiast, and she is adventurous and likes to go out and such. So she probably likes traveling in general, even when she's not working. And so I see her, you know, collecting items and bringing them home and sharing them. Like her room has several different items in it as well, but I also place some out here, so it's not just hers. You know, she shares with the rest of the household. And so there's the big urn from Journey to Batu, and then I do like just a little planter area here, and then I do like these little treasure boxes as well. So a nice little cozy area as you walk in with some collectibles that she's collected throughout her travels and whatnot. So yeah, that is the living room. Like I said, let me know what you think, if it's too much color or if it works. And same with the kitchen. Let me know what you think about the kitchen. There's kind of a lot going on in there as well. So just adding some light. I'm trying to do different lights instead of just the saucer lights that I put down. Um, just, you know, to add a little bit more character to my builds, because generally I just put the saucer lights down and I'm like, they got light, they're good. It doesn't need to have characters. So I am trying to do better on that as well. But this is the little bathroom here, and kind of struggled a little bit with this. Trying to find like a swatch I wanted to use and things like that. So I actually use this bathtub in all the bathrooms. I do the same thing in all the bathrooms, I gotta be honest. Like kind of like I did in the other house. I just copy and paste the different bathroom items, and that way, you know, they're all matching, but that's okay. Like I prefer that. And sometimes I'll make like the master suite a little bit different. In this case, I did not. I just kind of kept it on trend with the rest of them. I don't really think that the sim in this house that has the master suite would really care too much, and so she probably hasn't personalized it or anything like that. And now we're just adding some laundry stuff. This shelf was really cute, and I kind of wish I had used it, but I just didn't feel like cluttering it up, and it didn't really look like bathroomy laundry laundry room me. And so I actually switched to the laundry room shelf and just size it down a little bit. But I kind of wish I had stuck with that shelf just to do something a little bit different, but I may use it in the future. Even though it is a kitchen cabinet, I think it worked nicely here. And so, definitely an idea for the future, even though I didn't use it this time. And then, like I said, I sized that down so it wasn't clipping with the window, and then the plant wasn't clipping through the roof, which I think it still does a little bit, but I just cover it up. It's not a huge deal. So that is the downstairs bathroom with the laundry room, and like I said, Rhinoceros does it. It's her bathroom because she's down here. And I do wish, the one thing I wish, because I love putting washers and dryers in just for a more realistic build, but then you have to do hampers, otherwise they just throw their clothes on the floor in gameplay, and I often forget to do hampers, and so it's really, really frustrating. I wish you had the option to turn that off, just kind of like you could turn off the Bust the Dust kit. I really wish they had done that for laundry day as well, so you can use the items aesthetically. Like, they have some like laundry hampers that you can use aesthetically, but they don't have any washers or dryers that you can use just for aesthetic purposes. And I really wish that they would do that, because I don't always want to deal with that, especially when there's so many Sims in one build. Like, the laundry just piles up so quickly, and so it is really kind of frustrating sometimes. But we are now on to my rhinoceros's room, and so I'm going to go ahead and read the descriptions again as we hit each room, just to kind of give you guys a refresher, or if you haven't seen the previous videos yet, to kind of know the personality we are working with. So her name is Reese, which means an intense or fiery person. Her primal zodiac sign is the rhinoceros, which combines Aries with the Chinese zodiac year of the tiger. I made her a secret agent under the diamond agent branch. She is an extreme sports enthusiast, so she will get the survival instinct trait. She's adventurous, hot-headed, and outgoing. And her description says, and before I read her description, actually, I want to let you guys know that all the websites that I got all the information from for the series are linked down in the description below. So I have the website I got my Western astrology information from, my Chinese astrology information from, and then the Primal Zodiac website down in the description as well. So definitely check those out if you want to know more or what I'm referencing. Like I said, I didn't write this or anything like that. I got these descriptions from the Primal Zodiac website. So again, those are in the link down, or in the description down below, if I could talk. So anyway, her description for the rhinoceros is, how do you stop a charging rhinoceros? You don't. You run like heck and don't look back. People born in the sign of the rhinoceros are strong, determined, aggressive, and never back down from a challenge. Though this impetuousness occasionally gets them into trouble, members of the sign usually come out of battle victorious. They are both brave and lucky, as if blessed somehow by fate to constantly fight and constantly win. For better or worse, this is probably the most fearless sign in the Primal Zodiac, which fits perfectly with their desire for action and love of adventure. Not conformists by nature, they would probably run off and live in the wild if it didn't mean they would be alone most of the time. Despite their aggressive nature, rhinos crave social interaction, especially when it involves them telling stories of their great adventures to anyone who will listen. And then it goes on to talk, about the careers and such. And in the video where I created this sim, I do talk about like different famous people that are rhinoceroses and whatnot. And so they are the Chinese zodiac year of the tiger, which their lucky colors are gray, blue, white, and orange. And so you can kind of see I went with gray mainly because she's a rhinoceros, and so gray not only fits for her Chinese zodiac as a lucky color, but it also fits for the rhinoceros aesthetic as well. And so that's why I went with a lot of gray. I like the striped bed because tiger, it fits stripes. As I do like the striped bed. I could have probably gone with like the tiger stripe carpet as well, but I don't do that. I refrained from doing that, and actually I didn't even notice it until I was editing back, and I was like, oh, I could have used that. I didn't even notice it at all. So, but yeah, this is her room. I put her again on the bottom floor as a secret agent. She probably goes in and out at all kind of funky hours. And so I think she would like having the bottom floor. Definitely probably keeps it locked since Gorilla's going to be throwing parties and such. She doesn't want people in her stuff. She has like her own little TV and like seating area and things like that. So, you know, if she's getting ready or something like that, she can watch TV in there. She doesn't necessarily have to be out in the social areas or anything like that. So I think that's pretty much it for Rhinoceros's room, Reese's room. I should call them by their name and not their Primal Zodiac sign, but you know. And I do a little bit more out here. I decided I needed to add some seating areas for people to sit as they're socializing. You know, yes, there's a bar, but I put some seating, you know, in that little corner there and in the entryway as you come in. And then I also do some more lighting. I was just trying to finish this area off before I went upstairs to the next set of rooms. And so I put those little chairs, and then I put like a little ottoman out here so maybe the DJ can sit down and things like that if they need to. And then a little trash can. And I actually end up adding a little recycle bin out here later as well next to the trash can. So just a few touches, and then I do add some wall lighting to this area as well as some wall decor because I didn't quite finish in here. And so there was this really funky light that I really like. So originally I put the Moschino sign up, and then I came across this kind of funky like pipe light in blue, and I really liked it, and so I end up putting that where the Moschino light or where the Moschino sign is. I put that light up because I think it's cool, and I've never used it, and I like, you know, like it can work in here, and I'm really trying to use items where I wouldn't normally use them in these builds, and that way I can use some different items and get some kind of different looks going than what I would normally use. And then I'm trying to get better about putting curtains. I often don't because I'm like, it's The Sims, it really doesn't matter. You know, but I need to get better about doing that, so I've been trying to. And so I use the paranormal curtains in here like I did in the kitchen. I think it looks really pretty in here. I like the beads, and so that's what I went with for the little party room here. So I think that's it for the downstairs. We're going to go ahead and go upstairs. So first up, upstairs, we are going to do my gorilla. And the gorilla combines the sign of Aries with the year of the monkey. And so her name is Gan, which means the bold one. She is a civil designer under the civil planner branch. Her aspiration is party animal. Her traits are outgoing, dance machine, and self-absorbed. Her lucky colors for the monkey are white, gold, and blue. And so that's why you can see on the walls I went with that wallpaper there. But her description reads, those born under the primal zodiac sign of gorilla are defined by their big energy. They are show stealers by design, outgoing, energetic, and clever. They are usually cheerful and enjoy being the life of the party. That said, gorillas are also egotistical, and their aggressive desire for attention can become overwhelming to others. Bars and pubs are places that gorillas like to frequent. Members of the sign tend to enjoy consuming alcohol in social situations, but aren't always the nicest drunks. They are happy when all eyes and ears are on them, but if ignored, they can be pouty and mean. Gorilla is a very active sign, and they enjoy physical activity and express themselves best through physical outlets. This is also true for members of the sign, that if they don't get enough physical activity, they can become depressed. This is so true for members of the sign, that if they don't get enough physical activity, they can become depressed and angry. If this happens, everyone around will know it. Gorillas don't bother hiding their emotions, which actually suits them well, since they often just need to get whatever is bothering them out. They need to be careful not to stay in a funk for too long, though, as these moods, amplified by their natural energy, can easily drive away those around them. And so you can see I went with a lot of bold colors for her. Her style as well, like her dressing style, if you saw the video where I created her, is very bold as well, since they are kind of showstoppers and things like that. And then since she does need physical outlet, that's why I kind of decided to go the dancing route, because I think it tied in nicely, not only with being physical but also getting that energy out and combining with like her party animal style too. You know, that's kind of a part of their personality as well, you know, being the center of attention and drinking and having fun. And so that's why, you know, the life of the party. And I thought dancing just really, really fit well with that. But it also talks about, I didn't read it here, but it does talk about how they also show an analytical side in their careers and such. And they are good problem solvers. And so that's why she is a civil planner. And I think her energy, you know, she naturally has the energy and the charisma to kind of sell that as well. You can see I put some drinks around in here. And then she does have to share a bathroom with the boys, unfortunately. And so she has her little area where she can come do her makeup and her hair and things like that. And then I did add a computer in here. So if she does need to do work or anything like that, she has her little laptop and her little area where she can work and get that side done as well. And then I add in like a little, you know, because I was trying to tie in that analytical side and her work as well. And so I put like, I don't even know what it is. I think it's from like City Living or something like that, or Get to Work. And it's just like this suitcase thing, this thing right here. So I shrink it down and put it in to kind of tie in her analytical side and her working side as well. But that's pretty much it for her room. I think it turned out really nice. I really, really like it. And now we are going to jump catty corner across the hall here to our goldfinch and our llama's room. So they are actually dating. I just really liked, they had such similar kind of styles, and I really, really liked that. And so I decided that they were a couple, and that's what we're working with here. And so first we'll talk about our goldfinch, which combines Aries with the Chinese zodiac year of the rooster. His name is Gafur, and it means invincible, unconquerable, and undefeatable. He is a retail employee. He's a friend of the world. He's self-assured, neat, and outgoing. And then for roosters, their lucky colors are gold, brown, and yellow. So you'll notice I tie in a lot of brown actually for this room. And his description reads, "The one thing that will never be said about goldfinch is that they lack self-confidence. Members of this primal zodiac sign are overflowing with confidence, a trait that helps them succeed far beyond anyone else's expectations. There is a mysterious power in these people that stems from their firm self-belief. It is even said in ancient mythology that the evil and powerful half-bird, half-women creatures, the harpies, feared the goldfinch for what they might be able to do. Goldfinches are great at making friends and love being part of social situations. They are highly active and energetic, which sometimes plays at odds with their tendencies to want things organized and clean. Members of the sign expect things to go their way, and because of this, they often do. When they don't get their way, their dark side comes out and they become selfish, arrogant, bossy, and aggressive. Goldfishes don't worry much about other people's feelings, so getting them back on course is difficult. Luckily, the goldfinch likes to feel good, so they won't stay in a funk for long." And so then, of course, it talks about different careers, and it says that they do well in sales because of the confidence and the energy, and they also have kind of like the clean and organized side. And so that's why I gave him the career as a retail employee, and he likes fashion. And I can even see him as maybe like a personal shopper. You know, that's not really an option in The Sims, but I can see that for him as well. And then for the llama, that combines the Aries with the Chinese zodiac year of the rabbit. His name is Lakin, and it means successful, achiever, distinguished. He is a style influencer and a trendsetter. He wants to be a best-selling author. He's creative, genius, and proper. And for him, I like the idea of maybe he's doing like a fashion book or something like that. And for the rabbit, lucky colors are red, blue, pink, and purple. And I am actually a rabbit. So I'm a Virgo, so I'm not a llama, but I am a rabbit. But it says, despite appearing quiet and easygoing, those born under the sign of the llama are actually powerful, capable, and determined individuals. Llamas have no problem going with the flow as long as it works for them, but don't even think about getting in their way if they want to make a change. These are the people that slowly and steadily move toward their goals, as if oblivious to the obstacles in the way. Of course, they see every obstacle and may even suffer through anxiety and uncertainty along the way. But from the outside, you would never know it. Inside, there may be a whirlwind of thoughts, feelings, but nothing defines a llama better than having a cool and calm exterior. This is a sign that is always surprising you. They have a unique way of seeing the world and often have big dreams to go along with their unique perspectives. It's as if they were born to make their vision of life turn into a reality. They always seem to come up with ideas that others at first find strange, but later realize are actually quite brilliant. Even if nobody else understands their point of view, llamas have good instincts to know which ideas to defend and when to fight for them. And it says also llamas are lucky in that many of their seemingly conflicting characteristics tend to balance out well together. They can appear relaxed while anxious, confident while insecure, carefree while focused, and delicate while strong. Sure, they can have occasional outbursts of frustration and indignation, just as their animal namesakes have been known to spit in the faces of others when they are behaving in a way the llama doesn't like. But these are rarely seen by others. This only adds to their natural ability to intrigue others without having to appear moody or mysterious. So that's the description of the llama. So you can see I mostly went with like brown and purple and tied those together with a little bit of yellow as well. But I just like the idea of them both, really enjoying fashion and things like that. So that's kind of why I went with them as a couple. If you're one of the people that put a lot of stock into astrology and romance, they don't make the most compatible couple ever. Aries and Aries aren't really compatible, and roosters and rabbits aren't really all that compatible either, but they're not uncompatible either. It's just they might have a harder time in their relationship. So now we are on to our dodo, which combines the Aries with the Chinese year of the pig. His name is Devon, which means one who loves adventure and are passionate. He is a food critic. He's a Renaissance sim, which both tie into their description. He's adventurous, childish, and good. The colors for the pig are yellow, gray, brown, and gold. And you can see I went with a lot of yellow in his room here. But his description says, despite the name, those born under the sign of the dodo are actually quite intelligent. They have a thirst for learning new things, and they have a childlike energy, and though well-mannered, can be a bit hyperactive at times. Like a child, they are infinitely curious and want to know everything about everything. Like the now extinct birds, members of the dodo sign tend to be very naive, believing just about anything they are told. This comes from their trusting nature and the assumption that people are always going to be nice and do the right thing. Luckily, they are also fairly resilient and have a naturally positive outlook that helps them bounce back from disappointments. Dodos have a thirst for life and love to chase new experience, from climbing mountains to tasting exotic foods from a distant land. They are typically happy and energetic, but when they are down, they can show a distinctly different side, which will surprise those who know them. They can be angry, aggressive, judgmental, and self-destructive. As long as they don't stay in these moods for too long, they should be able to live a fairly well-balanced life. And then, of course, it goes on to talk about careers. But I did the food critic because they, have a thirst for life and chasing new experience, including tasting exotic food from distant lands. So I thought that would be a fitting career. And then a Renaissance sim because they are infinitely curious and want to know everything about everything. And so, yeah, you can see his room here. I also gave him a computer just in case, maybe when he's home and not out tasting the food, he might blog a little bit about his adventures, or maybe he's also working on a book, something like that. And I actually had to switch his room around a little bit. So I moved on the left side there. I actually removed that side table, and that plant actually ends up in the middle of the room. You'll see it on the screenshots because I forget to place it or delete it. But I moved the desk over there, and then the bookshelf goes where the desk is because he wasn't able to get through, which is stupid. He should have been just fine getting through, but whatever. I'm not going to be sour about it. Restrictions of The Sims. So yeah, so that actually goes in the corner over there, and then the bookshelf is where his desk is right now. But you'll notice my, what is it, faux pas? Because I do forget about the plant sitting in the middle of the room. So and then this is their bathroom. I do a double sink since so many of them are sharing it. I just thought, definitely need to have a double sink in here. And then I give them extra towels on the wall next to the toilet here, which you'll see right now. And then I'm going to jump over and do my piranha, who has the master suite. I'll do her bathroom, and it looks exactly the same as everybody else's. You're going to see here right now. The only thing I think is because it's like one section bigger, I think I add like what is it called, the little tower where you can put extra towels and things like that. I put one of those in here, and I think I put her hamper in here too. And so that's the only difference I made, or the changes I made. That thing right there, because there was extra room, and so I needed to kind of fill up that space as well. And then, of course, because it's a master suite, I gave double sinks in here too, because I think that's fitting for a master suite, is to have the double sinks, and so that's what I do. And then I also give her an extra little medicine cabinet thing behind the toilet. So nothing too crazy in here. That's her bathroom. And then I do put some custom content pieces I have. So like there's like a face mask stuff, this thing right here, and then I do like a mouthwash as well. And I try to put it up in the medicine cabinet mirrors, but it didn't quite fit in those little cubbies, so I didn't worry about that too much. And then of course we need to add some curtains. And so I was going to go with these ones, and then I changed to the ones I used downstairs. So very, very matching. Not very creative in the bathrooms at all. But so now we are on to Piranha's room, which is the last room. And our piranha is the sign of Aries combined with the Chinese zodiac year of the rat. Her name is Paulina, and it means a small and passionate individual. She is a tech guru under the startup entrepreneur. She wants to be fabulously wealthy, again, not because of the money, but just because of the successful career. Like, that's her goal. She's ambitious, self-assured, and mean. And then the lucky colors for a rat are gold, blue, and green. And you can see I went more heavily with the green in this room. But it says, in nature, the piranha is a small but powerful, and it's supposed to say fish, I'm pretty sure, but it was a typo. But so I'm going to add fish. But it says the piranha is a small but powerful fish with razor sharp teeth and a hunger to consume whatever is foolish enough to get in its way. In human society, members of the piranha Primal Zodiac sign aren't all that different. They are fearless, aggressive, and get what they want every time. They are highly career oriented and use their charm and high energy levels to push forward consistently. Piranhas have an oversized appetite for success that is never satisfied. They have the smarts and will do whatever it takes to get ahead, and they often do. This is not to say that piranhas are unlikable. In truth, they usually have many friends and are fiercely loyal to their families. They are self-sufficient enough not to need anyone else, though, and when they find that others don't have the drive to succeed, they will move on all by themselves. Members of this sign are as popular as they choose to be, but they also make many enemies. While they are mostly in control of every situation, they sometimes lash out at others unnecessarily and can be excessively mean-spirited. After they have cooled down, don't expect a piranha to apologize for their behavior. Instead, they will walk away blaming you for the whole event. And then it talks about how they don't make very good coworkers or employees, and they need to be in charge, and that's why entrepreneurship is good for piranhas. And so that's why I went with that, and I like the idea. Like, she has kind of a very alternative style, and I do like the idea of her kind of being into gaming. Like, you wouldn't really expect that of her. And then, you know, very into like tech and such, so not just gaming but also creating things too. So that's why she's, you know, in that branch. And then I did make her entrepreneur as well. So she has her full little desk area in there where she can work, and doesn't have to worry about being disturbed or anything like that. And then, of course, she has Master Suite because she's the piranha. She's going to take it. So, now we are on to the final area. I know this video has been very, very long. So, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching because, like I said, I like to include everything. I like the whole process and everything like that. But, yeah, this is our little studio area / gym area up here. And so you have our little gym area over here. Kept it pretty simple. I just did the running machine, the treadmill, sorry, and the sparring bot over there, and then the fabricators over there as well. And then I also do put a TV up. And then over here is a little photography studio. I think my llama, Locken, probably runs like his own like little fashion line, like he's trying to create that. And then, like I said, he is trying to do like a fashion book, so he's maybe taking pictures to put into that as well. So he has his own little studio. And of course, our gaffer Goldfinch is more than happy to, you know, dress up and get his picture taken in fun outfits as well. So you'll see, or if you didn't, when I created them, the screenshots of Gaffer, he's all posing and looking cute. So, and then I like the idea of also being able to take pictures on this outside balcony as well. So I do put like a little camera and marker out there so they could take pictures out there. And then I put like a little seat and such, nothing too fancy out there, but just another area where he can maybe take pictures. And he probably goes, you know, out in the desert and such to take pictures as well. But he has his whole little studio and workup in here, which is really nice. And then I decided it would be nice to have a little snack, so I put fruit. The fruit I actually end up putting on the little coffee table over there, and then some pastries. You know, if he has some models that are coming from the outside, you know, it'd be nice to have like a little something to offer them. Probably should put like a little coffee maker up here as well, but for now I think that works. Or like one of those fridges that have all the drinks and such. I think that would be a nice touch, so that might be something I add later on. And then just like a little seating area where they can relax, and of course a little dressing room area. And then out here I just put the little love seat and table and a little plant. Kind of an awkward space, not a whole lot of space out here, especially with the camera, but I did want to utilize it as well and have like a little balcony area out there. So but yeah, that is the build. We are now on to our walkthrough. As always, I do a walkthrough and I also include screenshots, just because personally I like both. I like seeing the layout as we walk through. Even though you saw me build it, like I still, you know, sometimes kind of forget. And so I like when simmers who build do a walkthrough, but then I also really like the screenshots because you can catch details that you didn't necessarily catch during the build or during the walkthrough. So that's why I like screenshots too. And there's Gan dancing her heart out. But yeah, that is the build. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys here. Again, remember, if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you are notified when I upload. And then also give this video a like. It really does help out. I'm really trying to grow this channel and it's been kind of slow going, so any little bit helps, and I appreciate you guys. And yeah, we will see you on Monday, and when we will be getting started with the Western Zodiac sign of Taurus, and of course their Chinese Zodiac twin. So we will see you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.